Hi, I'm Maria Stewart, owner of Gorgeous Goat Creamery in West Central New Jersey. We're a small goat dairy and we do on-farm milk processing to offer cheese, milk, yogurt, and buttermilk to the local community.
I'm Matt Kriegler. We have about 17 acres here on our farm, mostly wooded, and we have had an NRCS grant which has allowed us to do some timber stand improvement, invasive species removal with our goats, eating the invasive species, and also some reforestation, and planting some trees to replace all of the ash trees we've lost due to the emerald ash borer.
When we approached the USDA field office in our area, we met with an agent who described the NRCS EQIP grant and what it might be able to fund. And then the agent came over to our property and actually walked through the entire 17 acres to identify the different activities that EQIP could support that would also be compatible with our state woodland management plan. So the NRCS stands for the Natural Resources Conservation Service, which is a division of the USDA. We found them through seeking resources to help support our forest management at the property. The NRCS EQIP grant has supported our purchase of tree seedlings and tree tubes, as well as some of the other energies that we put in towards managing the invasive plants. With this grant, we're reimbursed for our activities every year, and that enables us to continue the next year improving our forest stand and the health of our forest. So we bought this property in 2017, and most of the 17 acres was full of invasive plants like multiflora rose and barberry. And those are thorny plants that are very hard to remove physically. You will get snagged with thorns, or you need to use herbicides that you would apply with a backpack sprayer. We took that route for one season. So I was wearing a Tyvek suit with a backpack sprayer, spraying herbicides on these giant thorny plants. And after one season of doing that, I said, no thanks. I didn't like what I was seeing with the environment, and I also didn't care for my own health and safety being at risk using those chemicals. So we looked into other opportunities to manage those invasive plants. One opportunity that presented itself was goats. So we started our herd of goats in 2018 with the sole intent of managing the forest through goat brush clearing. That's turned into a commercial dairy operation, but alongside that, we've seen great success with the goats eating the invasive plants in the forest. Our goats have a keen appetite for these invasive plants. This is multiflora rose, and you can see there's hardly anything left in terms of the viable foliage. The goats have been eating this particular plant for the last 3 months or so as the leaves have been out, and fingers crossed this is not going to come back next year. They also enjoy the Japanese barberry, and so this is one of the examples of that plant here. They don't like it quite as much as the multiflora rose, and you can see there's still a lot of greenery to eat, but they will eat both of these plants out in the forest. And also the stilt grass, which I'm standing on, is an invasive grass that just covers the forest floor, and the goats will eat that. Even though they're typically browsing animals and they're eating at face height, they will bend down and eat the stilt grass because it's so fresh and juicy.
So this is our Wood Miser LT15 sawmill. It has a 19 horsepower engine and can cut a log about 20 feet long and about 28 inches in diameter at the maximum. So with our sawmill, we've also built the houses for our male goats using red oak, ash, and tulip poplar. One other thing we've been able to do with our sawmill, and to take advantage of all the ash trees we're losing, is we were able to mill stakes to support our tree tubes from the ash trees that we've lost on our property here.
So these are the tree tubes that are protecting our little seedlings. Over the past couple of years, we've planted over 400 seedlings in the forest to replenish the hardwoods. You can see there's a huge open space here in the forest on account of the tree loss. So these tubes will protect the tree seedlings for 3 or 4 years until the leaves grow up and they're big enough to avoid being eaten by the goats and the deer. And then the stakes that are holding the tree tubes up are stakes that we milled out of the ash lumber we harvested at the property. Let's see how our tree seedling's been doing. There we go, there's our little oak tree. Grow, baby, grow! This is our milking herd. Right now we're milking 9 of our female goats. Cynthia's right in front of me. We got Mooney and Louise. These goats will give us about 1 to 1.5 gallons of milk per day. So it seems like a lot of milk, but on a commercial scale, it's actually not that much. We're considered a micro dairy. Our breed of goats are called Alpine, which is a standard size breed, and these gals weigh about 140 pounds each. So we take land management and land stewardship very seriously. We're located in a really unique spot in New Jersey where we have 2 creeks, the Wickichioke Creek and the Lockatong Creek, really on either side of where we're situated, and those both run into the Delaware River. So we're cognizant that everything that we do on this property has, an impact on the greater community through the water flow and rainwater runoff. We also really value the eco-diversity that we have in the state, and we want to continue to support native plants reintroduction and the health of the ecosystem.
Thanks for coming along to learn about our farm and the work we've done here in cooperation with the NRCS.